So Chapter 19 is all about perimeter. Chapter 20 is all about area. So we're going to start by doing the area of squares, rectangles, and triangles. And by the way, I do expect you are using a calculator to do your calculations at this point. I'm more interested in, can you identify the shape properly, use the right formula, that kind of stuff. I'm not so interested in your ability to do, like, say, 12 times 8. Although you should be able to do that. So, one of the pieces of material that went up with this chapter was a directions to find area. So that'll walk you step by step through it if my videos don't help. Next year you won't have the directions, you'll just be given the formulas, and you will have to be able to use them. So, today we're going to talk about squares, rectangles, and triangles. Okay. So for a rectangle, the area is equal to the length times the width. Remember that a square is just a special rectangle, so it also follows that formula. For area of a triangle, we swap the letters. Instead of L and W, we use B and H, and there's a 1/2 there. The area for a triangle is 1/2 of the base times the height. So today it's going to be a lot of plugging numbers into formulas and calculating. So our first shape here is a rectangle. To find the area of a rectangle, we do length times width. The length is 12, the width is 8. No, it doesn't matter if you say it the other way around. 12 times 8 is what we got to do. 12 times 8 is 96. Area is in units squared. So it's not 96 feet, it's 96 feet squared, or 96 square feet. The exponent of 2 is not telling you to actually square anything. It's just a name for the unit of measurement to represent that we're doing an area instead of a linear distance like perimeter. Okay, so 96 feet squared. A square with sides of 9.5 centimeters. Well, all 4 sides of a square are the same, which means 9.5 is both L and W. It's length and width. So here, the area of this square is going to be 9.5 times 9.5. And I'm going to use a calculator for that because I don't know 9.5 times 9.5 off the top of my head. My calculator is telling me it's 90.25 centimeters squared. Okay. Triangles. Oops. Area formula for a triangle is 1/2 base height. So 1/2. For this triangle, the base is 12 feet, and the height is 6 feet. Okay, the base is going to be one of the sides of the triangle, and the height is usually going to be a dashed line dropping down and touching the triangle. That's not necessarily always the case. Sometimes the height can also be a side of the triangle. That would be a right triangle. But more often than not, it'll be that dashed line coming down. So you can do this multiplication however you want. I like to go 1/2 times 12, because that's easy. 1/2 of 12 is 6. And 6 times 6 is 36 feet squared. Another triangle. So area equals 1/2 times 8 times 5. Yes, I'm intentionally showing multiplication using a bunch of different things, just to remind you that we can show multiplication a bunch of different ways. So 1/2 times the base times the height. The base is 8, the height is 5. 1/2 times 8 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20 square inches. Of course, life won't always be that easy. I will occasionally throw something at you that is a little bit goofy. This is called a composite shape. It's made up of two other shapes, a rectangle and a triangle. And we can see that if we close off here. So now we've got to figure out some areas. Okay, so this rectangle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide and 2 tall. Meanwhile, the triangle is upside down. It is 3 wide and 3 tall. Okay, it's upside down compared to the other two, and it's a right triangle, so here the side is the actual height. So we just have to do both of these. So the area of the rectangle is 7 times 2, which is 14. I want you to realize you could also get that just by counting the squares inside the rectangle. And the area of the triangle is 1/2 times 3 times 3, and that is 4.5. So the area of the whole thing is those two numbers added together, which will be 18.5. Here we don't have a unit of measurement given, but since it's on a coordinate plane, we can say units. So this is 18.5 units squared.